hotly menacing, but I still don't understand why he looks so grim
I
in my
know.
screen, but then in person he does not look like that at all.
I don't know, man.
It's weird.
Science.
Science. It's above my pay grade. Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl.
Where we are very confused because it's not Thursday.
It's so weird.
Oh, got it.
It's a Friday night for us, and we don't know what to think about this. Like last night, we were like, yeah, let's record
What do I do
tomorrow.
with my
Tonight,
hands?
tonight we're like, oh, why didn't we record tomorrow? Or last night.
Poor, poor choices were made.
Yeah, it's okay. Last night was nice.
Yes.
I'm Mandy of Requiem.
And I'm Karin from Sun Valley High. Welcome
Welcome.
back
Welcome
to the
back.
podcast. It's our least favorite part in our
Don't like
timeline.
it.
Nobody likes it. It's the worst. But in our timeline, it is May 19th, which is a Friday. And in y'all's timeline, it is May 26th. I don't like that.
For you
That's
guys, tomorrow, my niece is getting married and my cousin is graduating, and I'm going to both of those things on the same day.
good Lord.
Yeah, I feel bad for my niece or for my cousin because it's her birthday and her graduation is at 8 a.m.
Oh man.
So she has to spend, like, it's exciting to spend your birthday graduating, but at the same time, like, who wants to sit through graduation for your birthday at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, so
Gross. But congratulations to both
I know.
everybody.
And the niece
And
that's getting
happy
married,
birthday.
the niece that's getting married in our today graduated from nursing school.
Oh,
So
yay.
very good.
Congrats.
And then the cousin who's graduating from high school has a lot of like honors chords and stuff. So
Aw.
like she teased that she's gonna have to like say some words at graduation, but she's not valedictorian or salutatorian. So we don't know what's going on, but we're very
Ooh.
excited for her.
That's so
So
exciting. Well,
the
congrats
girls
to
in my family
everybody.
this week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into the podcast, I did promise last week that I would have concrete dates for y'all. Next week's episode is our last episode before summer break. We will be taking a mid-season break, so it'll be still after when we come back. It's still technically season 2, just like season 2 part 2.
Yeah.
So next week's episode is our last episode before the break, and then we'll take a couple weeks off, and our first new episode back will be August 25th. And that is what?
I know.
Oh God.
It's weird.
We're like planning for the fall now. I don't like it. I mean, I do like it because we have something really exciting happening in the
Yes,
fall.
we do.
But I can't believe it's already like getting close.
Yeah,
But
that's freaking me out. I can't believe
yeah.
it's almost June, which is the best month of the year, but still. Ask Adam Silvera. He'll tell you what the best month of the year is, and it's June.
Yes, yes, I get it. It's fine. I believe you. Whatever. This week in fangirling, what you do?
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to tell you about Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, yes. Tell me all the tea.
Okay, so this week on Vanderpump, it was the finale, like the season finale before they'll do like 3 weeks of like a reunion. Ariana officially finds out that Tom has been cheating on her with Rachel for 7 months.
Oh my God.
They were not filming when she found out. He has like a cover band that's really shitty. The band is not shitty. The front man, Tom, is shitty. He pays all of these people out of pocket for every practice. He pays all of their travel and he pays for every show. So basically they're like, okay, schmuck, you can pay me to exist.
Fair.
So they're at a concert and he's performing and his phone falls out of his pocket and someone hands it to Ariana, which is normal. I mean, if Josh drops his phone and he's not able to get it, somebody's going to bring it to me. We're on the same phone plan. She said that it was some sort of intuition told her to look at his camera roll. And when she does, she finds a FaceTime recording, like he's screen recorded or whatever, he and Rachel having phone sex on FaceTime. And so she immediately calls Rachel and she's like, what's going on? And she like admits to it all. Rachel and another cast member, Sheena, were on Watch What Happens Live that same night and they had left and they're like besties too. And so So Sheena sees that Rachel is visibly upset. So she's like, hey, what's going on? And Rachel just casually is like, oh, Ariana just found out that Tom and I have been having a 7-month affair.
What?
Now, Sheena and Ariana are like the best of friends. Like, that is my absolute best friend on this earth. So of course, Sheena like flips out and she like shoves her. She's like, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. Get back. So Sheena is filed with a restraining order in the episode over this because Rachel claims that she got punched in the face. Sheena has like 7-inch coffin nails. So she's like, it's impossible for me to make a fist. She was like, did my nail maybe hit her when I was trying to get her away from me? Possibly. I didn't punch her in the face. It's not possible. She was like, if I did this, I'd break my thumb. If I did this, I would have broken a nail. And I didn't have any broken nails you can see in any photos. So anyways, they weren't filming when any of it happened, but 2 days later, they started filming with, like, picked up the cameras again. Tom and Ariana are talking and she breaks watchers. Okay. She's telling him, she says, I was ready to build the rest of my life around you and I would have followed you anywhere. And this whole time, like, you've been doing this. Even fucking Schwartz, who's an idiot, is Tom Sandoval's best friend, made sense because Sandoval goes over there crying to him and he says, well, you know, when I said I was going somewhere, she never followed me. She never asked me if I was cheating on her. And even Schwartz is like, you can't put that on her. That's gaslight. You can't, that's not her fault. She's supposed to not follow you. She's supposed to not question you. That's not normal. That's not her fault. The Vanderpump girlies have been thrilled about this. Kristen Dowdy came back, which she was Tom's girlfriend when he met Ariana. Now, he told Ariana at the time that they were broken up. They were not. And Ariana found out that they were not broken up and chose to stay with him after the breakup. We're not going to blame her for this happening. Even though we know if they do it with you, they'll do it to you. They've been together for like 9 years. Okay. And Kristen is like, I don't even care at this point. Like, she and Ariana are friends. So she's like, you did me a solid. Probably wouldn't have been me, but it's not her fault he cheated on her no matter what. So the very end of the episode, Sheena fucking lays into Tom and she's like, he was like, well, I wanted to break up with her. And she's like, but you didn't. You fucked her best friend instead. And she just starts sobbing. She's like, you and I have been friends for 13 years and we are not friends because I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are. And it was a whole mood. Like, I don't normally like Sheena. She's not my jam. I was like, get him, girl. You get him. And my favorite thing that, like, I immediately flew to my notes when I saw this Monday or Tuesday to tell you, breaking news, Tom and Rachel have broken up.
Oh my God.
They blew up their whole lives. For less than a year of affair. Because in March it was 7 months.
Oh my God.
I am just overwhelmed by all of this. And what's funny is Victoria Aveyard keeps sharing stories where she's like, Vanderpump, even my husband is Vanderpump. So I cannot wait for the reunions where they are all together and talking about all of this. Like, I'm living for it. I'm living for it.
So crazy. People be messy.
They really do be super messy.
People be messy.
And crazy.
Okay,
so outside of that, I've been reading The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin. This has been a hell week. My husband was out of town and work has been a nightmare and we had a lot of family stuff going on. So I haven't read much, but Sally is a Chaucer now.
Oh, okay.
And that is like first page.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a spoiler. It's probably on the back of the book when the book is printed. Jean-Luc, though, doesn't want to trust her with anything. So she's the Chaucer made of glass, the lovely idiot. The other Chaucers are like, oh, okay. They're chauvinistic asses who are like, oh, she's a frail little idiot. We're gonna verbally push her around and just treat her like she knows nothing. So nobody, like, she wants to train. Nobody will train with her. She wants to be in on, the goings on in Chaucer Tower. They won't have anything to do with it. So at the same time that she's kind of going through this frustration, a series of bodies start being found around, what's the name of the town? Hold on. I have it. I don't know. The town. It's not Belterra. It's the other one.
I was like, I don't know. I read it a long time ago.
Yeah. Wherever Lou is from, there. Bunch of bodies are being found. They're like posed kind of and empty of all blood. And the land seems to be getting sick. Plants are just suddenly like withering and dying in seconds. It's very odd. So Sally sets out to visit her sister's something. I don't want to say what because of a spoiler, visits something to do with her sister and stumbles upon one of the bodies. And that like sets her on this path of like there's a new land involved, which is where I'm from, new interesting types of people that she comes across. I mean, we know it's a vampire book, but there are other types of people that I did not expect. And it's been pretty freaking cool so far.
Yay.
So, and then I read this cursed book, A Crown of Ivy and Glass. I don't know how to talk about it without it coming across like I'm hating on it, because I'm sure there are going to be people out there who really love this book. It's supposed to be like an adult debut for someone who's been writing like YA and maybe even some middle grade. I'm not really sure. But it's about this girl, Lady Gemma Ashbourne. She's basically Daphne from Bridgerton. She's spoiled and pretty and thinks that she is owed everything. And that's how she acts. But internally, she's dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety and some self-harm. And she and her family are in this rivalry with the Basque family. So then comes Talon Dostier. I hate him. I hate him from the second he shows up. He gives me Tamlin vibes. Okay. He and Gemma have this very fickle, like on again, off again romance. The second they see each other, like they have a conversation and she's like, I will hate you forever. Even when you think I like you, I hate you. And then 5 seconds later, she's in love with him. They are absolutely like, he is it for me. And then he betrays her trust in some way. And then she never wants to see him again. And then her loins quake when she looks at him. And it's so there are spicy scenes that feel like they were written by like a 6th grader. So like it's kind of awkward and fumbly, and then there will be like a take that C word. Like I don't know if we want to go that deep into our cuss words on this show. Take that C word. And it's like, okay. The whole time I'm reading or I was listening to it, but the whole time I'm listening, I'm just like doing the Chrissy Teigen grimace. Like I don't feel like I should be like, this makes me uncomfy. The plot was all over the place. There are like little storylines where if you blink, you're going to miss them. And then there were some that like feel like they're like, she drops this and then they're never going to be completed. She and Talon are working together to try, like she's going to build his status in society and he's going to help her fight the Basque family. But then she's in this, like, she's kidnapped by these wild women who take her in 100 miles from home. And they're like, we think you're great. And she's like, I think y'all are great. I think we should fight for each other for the rest of our lives. Like we'll fight to the death for each other. And they're like, yeah, we're bonded. We're besties. You just met 5 seconds ago. You don't know each other. What the are you talking about? I ended up DNFing at 87%, which at first I was like, this feels bad. But that was like an hour and a half that I would not have enjoyed. When I want to read The Scarlet Veil, and I could have been reading the Scarlet. So I was like, I'm not going to read this book. It's not for me. I don't have to finish this book. It's not for me. I'm sure there are people out here who will be like, oh my God, it's a Bridgerton ACOTAR mashup. It just wasn't for me. So I wasted a lot of time on that. We're not going to talk about Guardians. So what did you do this week? That's all my notes.
I read a new series that I had never heard of. The series is The Gilded Age Heiresses by Harper St. George. I got an email from Berkeley and they're like, want to do this blog blitz? I was like, cool. And then I was like, oh, this is book 4.
Oh no. And it's Regency. So it sounds like.
Yes.
Oh, and you don't even super love Regency.
It's not my favorite. I'm not really a historical romance girly. I know a lot of people are, and that's good for y'all. It's not my usual jam. But I actually really enjoyed myself. I was able to get the first 3 books on audiobook, so that helped a lot.
Hey.
Book 1 is called The Heiress Gets a Duke. It follows August Crenshaw, who is an American living in London, and Evan Sterling, who is the Duke of Rothschild. Evan is looking for a wife to get, I guess, I can't remember exactly, money to do something. I can't remember.
Okay.
I listened to this one a while back. But anyways, so...
He needs money.
So what happens is he goes to the Crenshaw family or like his mom talks to the Crenshaw's like mom and they plan a betrothal, and the Crenshaws offer up their daughter Violet, who is the younger daughter.
Oh my God.
And so he's like, he doesn't know their names, the daughter's names. He just remembers seeing August at one point and was like, ooh, she's pretty. And so when his mom's like, oh, do you remember the Crenshaw girl? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, how about her? And he's like, okay, because he thinks it's August, and it's not August. Turns out it's Violet. And so Violet's like, August, I don't want to marry this dude. He's way too old for me. And August is like, no, don't worry, you're not going to marry him. I'm going to make sure of it. And she does, because then he doesn't usually go to like the balls and stuff, but he showed up to this ball and he chose to dance with August. And apparently that is a thing where it's like, ooh, he's going to court her. And so she inadvertently became the person who is being forced to marry. She was just trying to be like, not Violet. And then it turns out it's like, oh crap, it's me.
Okay, well, you're voluntold then.
But
not Violet.
So what happened was, because August is like helps with the family company, which is Ironworks. And since she's the oldest daughter, normally they would be offering up the eldest daughter for a betrothal, but because she is so like independent and she works and all this stuff, they're like, nobody wants her. We'll give them Violet. But now,
Sad.
I know, right?
I like August.
I love August. She's so sassy. But luckily, Evan and August have excellent chemistry and romance things happen. Because romance.
Of course they do.
And, that happens. I can't remember the plot of this book very well.
That's okay.
But book 2 is Violet's book. It's called The Devil and the Heiress. It follows Violet and Christian Halston, who is the Earl of Lee. And Christian is besotted with Violet, but he doesn't really like her. He just thinks she's hot and she would make a good wife because she comes from money, and he needs money in order to restore his ancestral home that he is attached to.
So he's a 14-year-old?
Sure.
He's a man-child?
And so Violet, having thought that because August has married a duke, that her family's got a duke in the family now, she's free to not be forced into marriage. But turns out their parents really, really suck, and they value status more than their daughter's happiness. And so Violet is offered into betrothal with Lord Ware, who is sleazy old man.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. And she's like, I don't want to marry him. I just want to finish my manuscript and get my book published, which we love that for her.
Yeah.
And her mother's like, no, you can just get married. You don't need to do any of that. You don't have to work. And she's like,
Mom, yes, I
refuse. So Violet hatches a plan to run away, which good for her. And Christian, because he has spies in Violet's household, because he is determined to he's gonna marry her. He finds out that she's planning to run away, so he intercepts her and is like, well, instead of going on the train where people will recognize you and probably call your parents, you can come with me on my private coach and we'll go slowly up towards Scotland. And she's like, oh, that's a great idea. So they do that, and there's only one bed because they have to pretend to be married, and they are attracted to each other. And along the way, of course
they are.
Christian realizes, I think I like her more than just as money for me to restore my ancestral home. And she's like, I'm in love with him. And so they're finally they're just like, yes, we're gonna get married. And then things happen where there's the third act breakup, obviously, and then they come back together, and it's great.
I hate that. I love it, but I hate it at the same time.
I know.
There's 100 pages to go. This is not happily ever after.
But yeah, but there is a happy ever after. It all works out, though. And then the third book is The Lady Tempts an Heir, which follows their older brother Maxwell Crenshaw and Lady Helena March, who is a widow, and she was actually the girls' chaperone while they were being in London before they got married and all of that. So Helena is actually the one who helped Maxwell figure out where Violet had kind of run away to in the second book. And so they had to travel together to go and save Violet from Christian, because they didn't realize she went willingly.
Oh God.
And so then they traveled together, and they had this tension because they're ooh, they're hot. And so now they have to get fake engaged, because Helena is trying to start this home for women who are single mothers and orphan children. And in society they're oh, those are the bad women. Nobody wants to help them. But Helena's like, no, everybody deserves a place to like live and learn and get back into, you know, life. And so she's trying to start up this house, and Maxwell, the Crenshaw father, has decided he's had a health scare, so he's like, Maxwell, you need to get married and you need to give me an heir, and you need to at least get engaged by the end of the year, because otherwise I'm gonna throw a wrench in all these plans that August has for the company and it'll break her heart. And Maxwell, because he's an excellent brother, is like, well, fuck you, you're not doing that to August. And so he goes to Helen and he's like, hey, here's the situation. I think it would be mutually beneficial if we pretended to get engaged, because then people would see that she has like a reputable man on her arm and they would donate to her cause, and then their dad wouldn't ruin August's big plans. And so there's the whole thing, and
I hate that that's a thing that has to be done, though. A reputable man on your arm.
It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, and I hate it. But you know, romance, so things happen.
Yeah,
and they like,
of course.
and they are very clearly like, they very clearly care for each other. And then Helena eventually is like, no, I need to push him away because I can't have kids and he wants kids, so the best thing to do is for us to just go our separate ways. And Max is like, no, I love you, but he doesn't know about her not being able to have kids. And then it's a whole thing, but then she tells him and he's like, but I still love you. And she's like, you're gonna hate me. And then there's a thing. And then Violet, I'm basically giving you all the spoilers.
It's okay.
Violet is like, oh, well, it's okay that you guys have broken off your fake engagement, because, you know, that leaves him open to be like to make a similar arrangement with Amelia, who's like a friend from back home who has always been like all over Max, who he has no interest in. But Violet's like, well, now they can like enter into a similar relationship so that she doesn't have to come to London. She doesn't want to come to London. And Helena's like, absolutely not. Let me go to America and be like, I'm here. I do love you. And it takes August being like, well, if he decides that he can't put up with you not having a baby, then you guys could just get divorced. And Helena's like, what? Like, it never occurred to her that was an option.
Oh my God.
And so,
ladies, use your brains.
Right? And so she goes to Maxwell. She's like, I will marry you, but you have to promise if you ever get mad that we can't have kids, that we're gonna get divorced. And he's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, so yeah,
honey.
it's bonkers. It's great. The sex scenes are very steamy. It's great. It's hilarious and funny, but not really funny, because like, why are you so stupid? Why was society ever like this?
Why is this crazy?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah. So I haven't read the fourth book yet. That is the book that I have an arc of. It's called I don't remember the name of the book.
The something of somethings.
The Duchess Takes a Husband, I think.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like the Duchess's Bodice or something.
I was like confused at first, because these first three books have been all about the Crenshaw kids, and there's no more Crenshaw kids. But it is about Camille, who was the first of their little like American friend group to get married to somebody in London, but she was like forced into marriage, like Violet almost was.
Ooh.
But then her husband dies in bed with his mistress. Yeah.
Okay, wait.
So now Camille is ready to come back into society.
Poor Camille.
I know. But she hated him. He was terrible.
Yeah, but that's still embarrassing for her.
I think, well, and it sucks too, because in like, I think it was like the first book, Camille was like, he's made it clear that I'm allowed to like have an affair as long as I do it after we have kids, because he's not giving up his mistresses. And so it's like, he only married her for her money, and it sucks. And he's like fucking, I don't know,
those kind of stories too. Like, makes you so angry.
He's like
you only married her for her money.
Ugh. So when he was found dead, I was kind of happy, because the worst.
Yeah, go away. What's his name? Like, do you know what his name is? What's his name?
Oh, his name is, I don't know his actual name. He was called Lord Hereford.
It's just stupid because I have Bravo in the brain, but there's this lady Camille who was married to Kelsey Grammer. And he ran her, so I was like, it would be very funny if it was Kelsey.
That would
just for no reason.
Just for no reason. Yeah, no, that would have been amusing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. I'm not usually like a Regency historical romance girly, but they were fun. They were frustrating at times, and I really don't like their parents at all. I think they're fucking awful. Who does that to their children. And I realize it's a different
Right.
time period, but like
Yeah.
still, like fuck that. Fuck that. Nothing in the world would make me push my child into something that she doesn't want to do. Oh,
No, and yeah, it's hard to take your experience now out of it and
yeah.
remember and realize and remember like
Yeah.
no, that's how it was, even though it sucked, you
Well,
know.
and you know what gets me the most is that like I kind of like I get it in like British society, like that was a thing, right? But these are Americans. They're Americans living in London and they're like, oh, there was this one part where I think it was in the second book where Christian was like talking to Violet's dad and oh no. Yeah. And he was like, she's not your property. You can't do whatever you want with
Yeah.
her. And he was like, what did you just say? No, that's not correct. And I'm like, sir, I would like to murder you because
Yeah.
no.
Icky.
Ew.
Ick.
Ugh. Yeah, it was ugh. But
F you, Dad.
other than the awful parents, it was very good. They were very good.
Oh, good. I'll have to look it up
Yeah.
one of these days.
In 8 to 10 business years, it's fine.
Yes.
It's not urgent. What is urgent, though, is All the Right Notes by Dominic Lim.
Yes.
So good. So freaking good. I read this book so quickly. I'm obsessed with it. I was in love with it from chapter 1. It gave me all of the nostalgia vibes. It gave me flashbacks to high school choir. It was just, the choir room, I just pictured as my choir room. Like,
Yeah.
I could picture the choir room that I was in high school, and that was what I pictured when they would have the choir room scenes, and it's great. So it is about Keto Cruz, who is like super musically inclined, and he's living in New York, and he's doing like various accompaniment
I hate that word.
pianist work.
Accompaniments.
He is a pianist and he is doing various gigs where he plays the piano and accompanies people. And he has not been able to compose anything since this one fateful night in college. And you don't know what happened that night until much later in the book. But it involves Emmett Aoki, who is currently a Hollywood superstar. And he's super hot and everybody wants him, including Emmett, but he doesn't know it. But also, Emmett and Keto were high school classmates and choir buddies. And now Keto's dad, who was the choir director, is deciding to retire. And he's like, we're going to put on one last charity show so we can raise money for the choir program so that they will be taken care of after I retire, which kudos on him.
Yeah.
And so he recruits Keto. He's like, hey, I want you to come back for the concert. Also, you should get Emmett to come and perform as well because he would draw a lot of money. People are going to want to get tickets because Hollywood superstar. And Keto's like, cool. We haven't spoken in 20 years because of that one fateful night in college where something happened. And and so it's a second chance romance and it's queer as fuck. There is a sassy, non-binary, trans drag queen best friend.
Give me.
I love them so much. so much. Like, they really truly do give me Jonathan Van Ness vibes so much. I know.
The best kind of person.
I know. Like, they're seriously just a ray of sunshine, and we'll give it to Keto straight. Like, pulls no punches. Like, baby, what is happening? What is you doing? Yeah, fucking love them. There are a couple of like standout high school kids in the choir who I think they're adorable. One of them is Celeste, who seems to be like really close with Keto's dad, and it is the cutest little relationship. And then there is Milton, who seems like the shy kid until something happens, and it's a really cute moment of like self-discovery and like teachable moment, and it's so good. It's so good.
I love that.
And in the book, Keto has written a song that was kind of like his coming out song. Like, it's a song that he wrote at home and his parents heard it, and that was the moment that they realized like he was gay. And he was like, I didn't know y'all were listening, and he was like anxious, and they were just like, we love you. And it was so sweet. But anyways, this song exists. Dominic Lim wrote.
Oh yeah, I got the paper.
Recorded it. Yeah,
the paper that has the Spotify soundtrack too.
Yeah, So he wrote and recorded the actual song, and it's excellent.
That's
Highly
so
recommend.
cool.
But this book is just so filled with like musical goodness and joy and like queer joy, and these people can just exist, and they don't like there's like maybe one or two moments where it's like they feel like insecure about coming out, like they're afraid, but like there's no violence against them for any of that.
Yeah.
Like there's no
They can just be.
they just exist.
They
It's
get to just
almost
be.
like Arrival Most Vile, where they just exist and they
Yeah,
just
and
get to
there's
live
no
their life.
drama.
Like, it's so good, and I love it so much, and everybody needs to go read it. It comes out
Right
June
now.
6th. Right now. Maybe not right now, but
Right
because it
now.
comes out on June 6th. So get it on June 6th or pre-order it. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, but you should read it.
I will read it this week.
And then I read Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Shirley.
So good.
Oh, so good. So good. And I feel like I learned so much about mooncakes, about like Chinese stuff that I didn't know about. I felt a little bit like Dylan, like learning stuff about Chinese food and Chinese culture and history and stuff like that. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I kind of want to reread it again. I also want to cuddle Clover.
I know.
Clover. Sweet Clover. The best.
That's such a good book.
It's so good. And I also read The Rachel Experiment this week. I'm catching up on things. Also excellent. I listened to it on audiobook, and I forgot for a second that Luke was a Southern gentleman, and so that was fun.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And you're right. The moms would take over the world, and I would be afraid for all of us.
Those two together is scary.
Yeah, but also empowering.
Oh, for sure.
100%. And I watched the new season of Queer Eye.
I need to do that. I haven't done that yet.
So good. Every single outfit that Jonathan Van Ness wore was amazing.
Slay.
Absolute slay. The whole time. Every time that we saw, like, every outfit, my daughter and I were just like, oh my God, I love that outfit. That's amazing. I want that. Like,
yeah,
slay.
every single time.
All the time.
They have that effect.
And their hair is so luscious and gorgeous. And you know what? They're now sporting a wedding ring, and it's beautiful, and I'm so happy for them.
I'm surprised by that. I thought that they were on Instagram a lot talking about their husband. So
yeah. No, I just mean since the last season, like I knew that they were married. I just was like, it was nice to like
seeing it. Yeah
because like obvious, like I knew because they've been married for a bit, but like just to
seeing
to
it
see
hits
it
different.
Like I was just like, oh, there's a little ring there, there's a ring there. I'm
so
happy for them. So yes, that's what I watched. I also moderated a panel this week.
You did.
And it was terrifying and fun and crazy and good times.
It was awesome. You did a great job. I had some technical difficulties at first, but I was there. I can attest.
If it makes you feel any better, Jeannie also had technical
Bless her heart. Like she was just talking and then suddenly her audio was gone. For no reason.
Well, when she first logged on in the green room, it was doing the same thing. Like she sounded like a robot, and it was so weird, and we were all so confused. And she was like, I don't really want to go get my headset if I don't have to. And then she was like, I unplugged it and I plugged it back in, and it was working. And we were all just laughing because we were all children at the time when technology was created. So we're like, oh, that's the universal trick. You
blowing it,
plug it back in. Yeah. Like just restart it. It's fine. That's how it works.
Yeah. 100%. That's how it works.
Yeah. She's so just casually hilarious. And her whole, I swear to God, it was not planned for her to like go off about fire all the time. And then we were just like, what is happening? Do we need to?
Look, I was offended by the pimento cheese slander that Kristen May Chase was slinging. I was scandalized here in the South. I was clutching my pearls.
Oh my God. We were very shocked that people had such strong opinions about cheese.
Yeah.
And then
especially pimento cheese.
Apparently. I was messaging Kristen afterwards. I was like, there was a lot of like chaos with we got sidetracked by fire and miscellaneous white people and pimento cheese. It was great. It was like an episode of my podcast.
Right?
It really, I warned everybody up front. I was like, listen, there was a reason we named the podcast the Incoherent Fangirl.
Yeah.
We're just leaning into the brand, y'all.
Yeah. Well, just I'm being myself.
It was good times. So
It really was.
yeah, that was my week, basically.
Do you have a fictional boyfriend this week?
Can I say fictional bestie? All of the boys
Yes.
from Queer Eye, all my babies from Queer Eye.
Yes.
I love them all so much.
Every time I see one of them, I'm like, that one's my favorite. And then I see another one and I'm like,
I'm like, no, wait, it's that one. Yeah.
no, it's you.
Yeah. It's true though. It's
like
true.
they're all my favorite.
It's true. Like you see one of the Queer Eye guys and you're like, you're my favorite. And then the next one comes along. You're like, wait, no, you're my favorite. And you just keep going in circles.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I don't
like,
know.
oh, Tanny, you're back. I love you, Tanny.
I love them all so much. So I got my fictional bestie crew.
I love it. I'm really mad. Not that I'm not saying he needs it or anything, but the first season was filmed in Atlanta. I could have signed Josh up for that. I could have been like
You could have
ground
been
floor friends
actual
with
besties.
them. Rude.
It's okay. Yeah. They could come here. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. We're close enough to San Francisco that
I need you to start dressing a little frumpy.
Oh, well, you don't see me when I'm sitting at home all day, Mandy.
Because you got to give me some ammunition to just put some really bad outfits together. Send me some photos of them. Like have your kid take photos of you like putting a book on a shelf and then like putting something in the dishwasher, going into Walmart so I can be like, this is how she dresses a lot. Oh my God.
You know, I feel like nowadays it's less about like people being
What they
frumpy
wear.
and more about people not having confidence and not being assured of themselves.
Yeah.
And like
that's
they're
true.
they're more about like the whole person emotional change kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Very, very good.
All right, tell me yours.
I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I think it's Michael. It's Michal.
Mikhail?
And it's in a French setting. Michael, maybe.
Michal.
Michal. I don't know.
I would say
whatever.
Mikhail. Okay.
It's
but
it's in the Scarlet Veil. He's in the Scarlet Veil. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing that I'm interested in him, but he's giving me the good vibes. He's giving me the good vibes. Right
so
now, of course, he's
morally gray, is what you're telling me.
Right now, he hasn't shown any gray. But I'm hoping there's a little bit of, I'm hoping he's going to come around. I'm hoping there's some Toucher and Die vibes. He's just like asserting how cool he is right now, but I'm hoping that changes because Lord, I'm digging him.
All right.
So whatever his name is from Scarlet Veil, I'll let you know when the audiobook comes out what his name is.
I saw the audiobook on NetGalley, but it was a wish list, not like a request. And I was like, curses.
Yeah, same. I did the request though. It was like, say please to the publisher.
Yeah. I was like, wish list, please.
Give us that.
100%.
But eventually we'll let you know what his name is.
Exactly. Where did your money go, Mandy?
Not very far. First, I'll show you where my husband's money went. He went to Oklahoma City and to Wichita, Kansas this week for work. So he got me a Starbucks tumbler.
Of course.
And an Oklahoma mug for my Been There collection. I got my new Kindle case because the cases that we got were paper and was falling apart. So I just got a clear case and I put some stickers on it.
Yay!
So I've got not a Cruel Prince. Got a Crow Club, 6 of Crows sticker, Loki and Mobius. I've got Fire and Starlight, Akatar, and Fold in the Cheese.
You just fold it in, David.
I have a pop socket, but it's not here yet. Then I went to the bookstore to take pictures of Fourth Wing for a contest. They did not have it, but of course I left with 4 books.
Of course.
So I got Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed because I didn't have that and I want to read it. I got this one just on cover alone. The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill by Rowena Miller. I don't need to know any. Say less. The guy upsold me this at the register. It's about paranormal investigators in Siberia who go to this like abandoned town and everyone's gone except for this one catatonic little girl and a pack of wolves. But it's called Road of Bones by Christopher Golden.
Okay.
And it was another buy one, get one half off. So I was like, well, that's too, I need another one. So I got the 90s by Chuck Klosterman. This is nonfiction, historical nonfiction. Then our buddies over at Forever sent me All the Right Notes by Dominic Lim. I got my In the Lives of Puppets from that you got last week. I haven't put it away yet. And then I got my signed personalized copy of Fourth Wing. So I'm very excited about that. She wrote my name and she wrote Fly or Die.
Love.
And wait. Okay, so I can't show you. I'll show you next week because I left it over there. I got up specifically to get it, but ADHD. So my husband is insane. Okay, he's the bestest. Knows I love Ed Sheeran. Orders me this like box set that has a CD, a t-shirt, and an autographed card that Ed Sheeran touched himself. So I have it over on my desk because I'm going to put it in a shadow box, but it's all the way over there and I forgot. Dang it. I got up to get it. Yeah, I'll show it off next week, but that's where his and my money went.
Yay.
Where did your money go?
Mine also didn't go very far this week. I got Wanda, part of the Civil War set that was supposed to come when I got Natasha, but she's here now.
She's here now, yeah.
That's all that matters. I am now, I believe this is 5 of 12, so we're almost halfway there. And then I went a little cuckoo at Here Comes the Nerd. And technically, I only bought 3 listings. The fact that those 3 listings had multiple things in them is not
your fault.
Not my fault. But I got her new sticker books.
Oh.
There are 12 different designs. This one is from The Stars Above, her original characters.
Cute.
And so you can stick a sticker on there and then peel it off and stick it somewhere else. It's for all of us sticker collectors who have anxiety about putting stickers on things because it's too permanent. So I got all 12 designs. I like stickers.
Hey, I'm not judging.
I'm also a big supporter of Here Comes the Nerd, okay? In addition to doing sticker books, she also did washi tape, which
that's cool.
Very cool. And this is our ACOTAR buddies.
Oh,
look at them. Love.
Surreal.
I know. It's so funny.
I'm dead.
And then I got a bunch of rainbow colored stickers because rainbow stickers.
Obviously.
I needed stickers for my sticker book, and what rainbow.
Obviously.
And then our besties at Forever also sent me All the Right Notes. I was going to be very, very upset that you got a copy and I didn't.
I know.
Even though I pre-ordered one, so like I didn't need them to send me one, but like they did. I just thought it was so funny because it was literally like right after we had talked about how, you need a copy so you can read it before next week, and then it just showed up.
It was the next day it showed up, and I was like, or the day after, like 2 days later, I was like, this is way too fast.
Yeah. I think you were like, did you request
did
this?
You say, I was like,
fast.
If you said something to them, they like jumped into action, and you were like, no, they just knew I needed it.
They just knew. I guess so. Well, they actually did know. That was a sentence. they actually might have known because of a thing that we'll talk about in the next segment.
Yeah, true, fair.
But that's where all my money went this week.
This is normally where the intruder alert goes, but we don't have an intruder this week. But I do have a little like something to talk about that's not like Fangirl Freestyle, but it's something on behalf of a friend of ours. We did. So I guess we could have had this friend on, but we had like a last minute cancellation with the guest. Like, I don't want her to think that like we just lied. We were supposed to have a guest tonight. There was a funny mix up.
Life happens.
So yeah. And I didn't want to put somebody on the spot at the very last minute and be like, hey, you want to talk right now? Okay, so I want to tell you guys about Austin University. So it's I guess it's like a TV show that we're trying to get to. It's written and created by women for women, and it's the first complete Jane Austen universe. So they're combining all of her stories in a similar vein of like the MCU. They all unfold on a modern college campus. So we see what friendship between Emma and Elizabeth Bennet would look like. And if Fanny Price had Marianne Dashwood to help her, come out of her shell. They wrote it in a similar style of Gilmore Girls, which I like, give me that.
Yes.
They've been working on it for like 10 years. And so like to see it this close is really cool for them. They've written the entire first season, and then seasons 2 through 5 are mapped out. So like this could span forever. They have a producer who's going to help them shop it to different networks and streaming platforms once they film the pilot episode. So they are trying to fund that pilot episode with a Kickstarter. There's 30 days left on the Kickstarter. It closes on June 16th. So less than 30 days by the time you're reading this. And we can post a link if this feels like something that you want to fund, on a Kickstarter. And if you don't want to, but it still feels like your jam, if you're not able to help financially, sharing helps. Sharing, getting the word out, commenting on posts. All of their handles are Austin University. So it's pretty simple. There's a $25 pledge that gets the pilot episode sent directly to you once it's finished, but they want it to be clear that any contribution helps. And she wanted me to point out that there's like a bromance between like the guys and the friendships between the guys that they've been having a lot of fun developing too. So like I'm excited to see it.
I love it. Yeah, we'll link everything in the episode description. So go there for the Kickstarter. You can follow them on social media. We'll have all of those links available for you to just click and go.
Yeah.
And whatever you are able to do, if it's financially or if it's just quietly supporting with likes and comments, everything helps, especially in this day of social media. So
yes, all it takes is one TikTok blowing up.
Exactly. So yay.
Okay, what are you anticipating this week?
Well, I know that I just talked to him like 2 days ago, but I'm really looking forward to us talking to Dominic Lim next week. I cannot wait to talk to him about this book and to curse his name publicly. I messaged him after I finished reading the book, and I was like, I laughed, I cried, I cursed your name. It was great. Because, and I said that it's like, there's a lot of queer joy. There's a lot of great magical musical wonderfulness. There is a moment of sadness.
Yeah.
There was a moment that kind of brings you down, and I feel like it needed to happen, but it's still sad.
Yeah.
So there is that one moment where I'm just like sobbing my eyes out and like literally in Dominic's DMs and just being like, how dare you? How dare you? So, but I'm very excited to talk to him. He's so much fun. He's so cool. I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I may be getting something to read this weekend that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but it's very exciting.
Oh yeah.
I'm very excited about it. And I specifically was like, I think I can do this weekend because I only have one arc that's publishing on Tuesday. So
do I know what you're talking about? Because I think I may have gotten the same DM.
I didn't talk to you about it, but it may be the same thing.
Okay.
But anyways, I was like, this weekend would be ideal.
Yeah.
Because every other weekend from here on until forever is like, I have 4 to 5 arcs I have to read.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My life's pretty boring right now. I'm looking forward to
a dream.
Sleeping this weekend.
Yes. I'm gonna do that Sunday.
I would like to catch up on sleep, so maybe that. What about you?
We're going to Stassi Schroeder's Mommy Dearest tour on Sunday, which I'm excited about because she's funny, and I'm sure she'll have a lot to say about Sandoval and Rachel and their breakup. And her best friend, you remember last week I talked about how there was a girl who like Rachel like was getting really rude with her mother, and I was like, props to you, Katie, for keeping your hands to yourself. Katie is Stassi's like best friend.
Oh,
so
my God.
I'm sure she has a lot to say about her best friend's mama being disrespected too.
Oh
so,
yeah.
And then trying to get a little bit of sleep in. I'm so ready for it next weekend to be a 3-day weekend. I'm gonna have those 2 days to recover from graduation and wedding. Memorial Day.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Surprise.
This is the best present ever.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. That's great. I'm very excited about this. I love it.
I think we might be ready for a spiel. This has been
That's
a
great.
quick episode. I'm
Yeah?
gonna go to bed.
Oh, I would like to go to bed, but it's too early.
No such thing.
Hey, I just got mail from Mandy.
It's Chloe stuff.
More Chloe stuff.
I even wrapped it so it wouldn't like get any more scraped on the edges.
Oh, you're very good to me. Anyways, friends, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. Please follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at The Incoherent Fangirl, at Incoherent Girls on Twitter, even though Twitter is the worst. We don't like them.
Ugh, I hate you, Twitter.
Yeah, it's the worst. Please give us a like on our Facebook page and then head over to our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes as well as read our blog, which has many reviews. So many book reviews.
So many. And the
many.
DNF one. I hope it wasn't too mean. I don't think it was mean.
I don't think it was mean. I don't think it was
wasn't
mean
my
at all.
vibe.
Yeah, exactly. And where did I leave off? Oh, there's my notes. If you would like to see our cute faces, we're very cute. You can subscribe to our Patreon and get early access as well as access to the video of every episode. Go to the incoherentfangirl.com/Patreon to sign up. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, you just want to tell us that we're pretty, we will accept all of that.
Yes.
Please email us at theincoherentfangirl@gmail.com. We absolutely love hearing from y'all. It's so much fun. And a final way you can support the podcast is to rate and review on whatever platform you are listening to us on. That would be wonderful.
Give us your words.
I went on to Apple Podcasts today to screenshot for Instagram, and we got a new rating.
Did we?
Which was very exciting. No new reviews, but a new rating, which was very
cool.
That's
very exciting.
So thank you to whoever that was.
Awesome.
She is at Mandy Perv on all the things.
And she's at Ms. Made in China on all the things.
And once you followed us and you followed the podcast on social media, you can do some self-care and head over and visit our internet besties, starting with Here Comes the Nerd. Go to herecomesthenerd.com and use code FANGIRL to get 20% off your first order.
But then you're going to need books. So head to onceuponabookclub.com and use code Mandy10 for 10% off. Get you some bookish goodies.
And while you are waiting for those bookish goodies and your new artwork from Here Comes the Nerd, you're gonna want some comfort, which always comes in the form of tea, right?
Always.
Everybody is cozy with tea. So head on over to grimoiretea.com and use code FANGIRLT to get 10% off. But remember, there's no I in Fangirl. It's FANGRLTEA.
And we will let you know when that website changes to Entrancing Elixirs.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to give the coupon code for Amber today because apparently I got so excited last week that I talked about Amber.
Too much hype. We were just hyping her up.
And I didn't give the coupon code.
Whoops.
So amberdlewis.com, use code FANGIRL10 for 10% off your purchase. And she just dropped, is it Stories in the Stardust? Stories in the Starlight?
Stories in Starlight.
Yeah.
Stories in Starlight.
Which is the novella set. So it's all of the, it's Scars and Stray and
Starcrossed.
I was losing Starcrossed, the name of Starcrossed.
My favorite.
And Scars is mine. And and Never Before Read, like companion story is going to be in it too.
So exciting.
So Fangirl 10, get 10% off of that.
Yay. And remember, we will lie for you. If somebody's judging your spending habits, just let them know this was a gift from my friends at the Incoherent Fangirl.
You won a giveaway.
It was a contest. You won.
Look, if I need to throw together a Canva graphic really quick for the contest you won and then say we deleted it to avoid confusion, I will do that for you. Okay. Don't even worry about it. I got you.
Professional girl squad here. We got you.
Yes. Girl gang, we got you back.
We're on your side. And speaking of the professional girl gang, we always want to support the show husband.
Always. We like him a little.
Yeah. It's important.
So the same day that our episodes air, the Paranormal Mind airs, which is their podcast, the Searchers podcast, where they talk about all kinds of spooky and mysterious happenings that have gone on that you may not have heard about. So go give the Paranormal Mind a rate and review, a follow, go to searchersbelieve.com and check out all of their they've got some like actual episodes that you can find on YouTube. Everything is Searchers Believe. I think with YouTube you have to type at Searchers Believe. I think that's like how YouTube links are set up, but they're doing some pretty cool stuff. So
yes. And eventually we're going to bully Josh into giving us a coupon code as well.
He's already said he'd do it. I just have to set up the coupon code and I forgot how to do it.
That's okay.
But as soon as I figure that out,
Listen, I just really wanted to say we were going to bully Josh.
Okay, we're going to bully Josh.
It just feels funnier. And that was the Incoherent Fangirl. Thanks for listening. We love you.
Bye.
We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at HereComesTheNerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.